Have you ever wondered how an idea transforms into a life-saving drug? Well, that's the enigma of drug discovery. It's a compelling journey that begins with a spark of scientific curiosity and ends with a medicine that could potentially save millions of lives. This process is the beating heart of the pharmaceutical industry, a cornerstone of modern medicine. Yet it's not as straightforward as it may seem. Drug discovery is a labyrinth of scientific research, intricate testing, and rigorous regulations. It's a marathon, not a sprint, often taking over a decade and costing billions of dollars. Despite these challenges, it's a process that is absolutely crucial. The stakes are high, but the rewards, they're immeasurable. Imagine the joy of knowing that a drug you've helped create is out there, making a real difference in people's lives. Sounds exciting, doesn't it? So let's unfold the mystery of drug discovery and understand the journey from bench to bedside. The drug discovery pipeline is a fascinating journey that unfolds over many years, even decades. It begins with a question, an enigma to unravel, a disease to conquer. And from this question, a target is born. Target identification is the first step in this journey, where researchers identify a molecule or pathway that can be modified to treat a disease. This could be a protein, a gene, or even a cell that plays a key role in the disease process. Once a potential target is identified, it's time for target validation. In this stage, scientists validate that the identified target is indeed involved in the disease process and that manipulating it can alter the disease's progression. They use various techniques like genetic manipulation or molecular modeling to test their hypothesis. Next up is lead identification. Here, scientists screen millions of chemical compounds to find leads that can interact with the target. These leads are potential drugs that can modify the target's activity. It's a bit like finding a needle in a haystack, but with the right tools and a bit of luck, it's entirely possible. After identifying a promising lead, it's time for lead optimization. Scientists tweak and modify the lead compound to enhance its effectiveness, reduce side effects, and improve its drug-like properties. It's a meticulous process, a balancing act of sorts, to create a compound that's just right. Now comes the phase of preclinical testing. The optimized drug is tested in the lab and on animals to evaluate its safety and effectiveness. It's a crucial step to ensure that the drug is safe for human trials. The penultimate stage is clinical trials, where the drug is tested on human volunteers. It's a multi-stage process, each with its own set of rigorous standards and regulations. And finally, if all goes well, the drug reaches the final stage, FDA approval. Here, the FDA reviews the data from the clinical trials and decides whether the drug is safe and effective for its intended use. Each of these stages is a crucial rung in the ladder that leads to a new drug. The drug discovery pipeline is a testament to human ingenuity and perseverance, a journey of hope and discovery that has the potential to change lives. The first step in the drug discovery pipeline is the identification and validation of the target. This process is akin to finding the right key for a lock. In this context, the lock is a particular molecule in the body that a prospective drug can act upon. Scientists aim to find the key, a compound that can modify the target molecule's activity. The identification process begins with understanding the disease at a molecular level. It's a quest to find the molecule or pathway that plays a vital role in the disease progression. Once a promising target is identified, it needs to be validated. Validation is the process of confirming that this target is indeed involved in the disease. It's like double-checking that our key fits the lock. This is achieved through various in vitro and in vivo tests. The right target is the first step towards a successful drug. Once the target is identified, the quest for the right chemical begins. This process, known as lead identification and optimization, is an exciting journey of discovery and fine-tuning. Imagine you are a scientist, and you're looking for a molecule that can interact with a specific target in the body. This molecule is called a lead, but finding a lead is just the beginning of the story. There's a vast chemical universe out there with millions of potential leads. Scientists employ various strategies to find those with promising properties. They might screen large libraries of compounds or use computational models to predict which molecules could bind to the target. It's a bit like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but with the right tools and a bit of luck, they'll eventually find a molecule that fits the bill. However, a lead molecule is rarely perfect. It might bind to the target, but perhaps it's not very potent, or it has undesirable side effects. This is where optimization comes in. Scientists tinker with the lead molecule, changing its structure slightly, adding or removing atoms, all the while testing how these alterations affect its properties. The goal is to make the molecule more potent, more selective, and safer. Optimization is a delicate balancing act. Enhancing one property might compromise another. For instance, increasing the potency might make the molecule less soluble, which could affect how well it's absorbed in the body. So scientists have to juggle these competing demands, striving for the best possible compromise. This iterative process of modification and testing can take many rounds, and each iteration brings us closer to an optimized lead. It's a bit like refining a sculpture, chiseling away the imperfections until you're left with a masterpiece. And so, after countless iterations, we arrive at an optimized lead. This molecule is not just a potential drug, it's a potential lifesaver. It has the right properties, it interacts with the target, and it's been fine-tuned to minimize side effects and maximize effectiveness. The optimized lead is the potential drug candidate. With the potential drug candidate in hand, it's time for rigorous testing. Before we delve into the world of clinical trials, let's first discuss preclinical tests. These are the crucial first steps that take place in the lab, far from the reaches of any human subject. Scientists test the drug on cells and animals to gather preliminary data on its effects. They're looking for answers to questions like, is it toxic? What's the appropriate dosage? What are potential side effects? This stage is all about ensuring that the drug is safe enough to move into human testing. It's a meticulous process, often taking years, as it lays the groundwork for clinical trials. It's the difference between a leap of faith and an informed decision. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Once the preclinical tests are done and the drug is deemed safe for human testing, it's time for clinical trials. These trials are a multi-phase process, designed to scrutinize the drug from every possible angle. Phase 1 trials involve a small group of healthy volunteers. The goal here is to determine the drug's safety and identify side effects. Phase 2 trials involve a larger group of people, but this time, they're patients who could benefit from the drug. This phase assesses the drug's efficacy and further evaluates its safety. Phase 3 trials involve an even larger group of patients in different locations. This phase aims to confirm the drug's effectiveness, monitor its side effects, compare it to commonly used treatments, and collect information that will allow the drug to be used safely. And finally, Phase 4 trials occur after the drug has been marketed. These trials gather more information about the drug's risks, benefits, and optimal use. This entire process, from preclinical testing to clinical trials, can take up to a decade or more. It's a long and arduous journey, but it's one that ensures only the safest and most effective drugs reach our pharmacies. Clinical trials are the gatekeepers, ensuring only safe and effective drugs reach the patients. The final hurdle in the drug discovery pipeline is regulatory approval. This crucial step is overseen by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, or FDA. The FDA meticulously reviews all data gathered from clinical trials to ensure the drug's efficacy and safety. But the process doesn't stop at approval. Once a drug is on the market, it enters the stage of post-marketing surveillance. This phase is vital to monitor the drug's performance in a larger population and over a longer period than in clinical trials. It helps to identify any unforeseen side effects and to ensure that the benefits continue to outweigh the risks. The FDA also monitors manufacturing processes during this stage, ensuring that the drug's quality is maintained. So while FDA approval may seem like the finish line, it's really just the starting gate for the drug's journey into the wider world. FDA approval is not the end, but a new beginning for the drug's journey. The drug discovery pipeline is a testament to human ingenuity and perseverance. This intricate process, spanning years or even decades, begins with the enigma of identifying a potential drug target. This is a meticulous process of understanding the disease at a molecular level and identifying which biological target can be influenced to alter the course of the disease. Following target identification and validation, we move to the stage of lead identification and optimization, where chemical compounds are screened and optimized for their potential therapeutic effect. This is a stage where creativity meets scientific rigor. The pipeline then progresses to preclinical testing and clinical trials, the stages where safety and efficacy of the potential drug are thoroughly evaluated. These stages underscore the importance of ethical considerations and patient safety in the drug discovery process. The journey culminates with FDA approval and post-marketing surveillance, ensuring that the drug is both effective and safe for the wider population. Every pill, every injection, every treatment is a story of scientific exploration, rigorous testing, and ultimately hope for a healthier future.